Pitkin. Guess whose this was? Herb Zook. Calls it the Pitkin Snowmobile. The step says snowmobile on it. Snow flyer. I should probably tell you who Herb Zook is. He was an industrial arts teacher for years. He went to Heston College in the local area. He also taught there at Heston College. He taught at McPherson College. He also taught at Hayes State University in Kansas here. And he was part of the Model T Club. And he had a cabin there in Pitkin. And he'd always go out there in the summers. And it just so happened when he retired, I happened to work on his vehicle, his pickup, that he would use to haul his Model Ts out there to Pitkin. I'd never been to Pitkin, and so I wanted to find out what it was all about. And so we went there, and we certainly discovered a lot about him. And he passed away about 3 years ago. The gentleman who owns a bunch of buildings and businesses in town bought this thing. He has the Moose Bar across the street and a coffee shop. That's over there. Real beautiful. That's pretty neat. That thing. Look at this thing, life size. Wow. Sort of.
If you look a little lower.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Sort of. Yeah. Got an Indian raid going on, it looks like. Pitkin Bird Sanctuary, established 2005. It's a beautiful little stream behind me here. I got the Stumbling Moose Lodge Bar and Grill. hotel here. Beautiful paint job on that thing. Pretty neat here. It's like some train track. Roadkill Cafe. Beautiful church. I should mention that we saw this gentleman, Mark, working on the front steps of the church here. And later he invited us to come in after he got the keys to look at the inside of the church. But in the meantime, he told us of a couple that lived in Copeland, Kansas. And I said, well, I had a great uncle that lived in Copeland. So he met us later, or actually he led us down to that house, and we got to talk to that gentleman. They were retired farmers from Copeland, Kansas, and they knew my great uncle. My great uncle had like 17 children, 2 sets of twins, and it was actually a neighbor to that farmer that lived in Pitkin now full time. So we had a real good discussion, and it was just a real interesting time. And he said a whole bunch of people on his street back there were actually from Kansas, but I don't know how many lived there full time, maybe just during the summer. He also told us that Herb Zook attended that church, and their church actually supports Herb's son, Tim, in mission work. And Tim comes back and still has a cabin there, which we'll show later here. And so that was interesting. I don't personally know Tim, but that was interesting.
Maybe 20 years ago, something like that, the building was collapsing. And they took up a fund, had a special project. They had contractors that came in, they jacked it up. They did concrete foundation underneath it, and they let it back down. And they did a little bit of restoration work at the time to save it. Because originally it was just built on logs.
Yeah.
Timber foundation, and of course after a number of years it was starting to rot and collapse on us. Yeah.
And it's not like the Bible pages where you could get them apart, you know.
Well, please hit the subscribe and like button and comment if you like this kind of content.